I got given exclusive access to Mongil Stardive. This is a brand new upcoming, what I believe to be gacha game. There is no functional gacha system implemented at present, but I feel like there will be eventually because, I mean, this game feels like it is going to be a gacha game, or at least it's going to have gacha mechanics present. But overall, disregarding the unit acquisition, which I'm assuming is going to be the gacha aspect of the game, this game felt nothing like any gacha game out there currently. I will preface this by stating, yes, I was given exclusive access to stream this and to record footage, but no, this video is not sponsored. Therefore, everything I say is my own opinion, unrestricted, and not at all influenced by my obtaining of said access. Now, what is Mongil though? Honestly, I can't really compare it to any gacha game out there currently. It's not an open world game, but it's not a hub game either, so it's not like Wuthering Waves, it's not like Zenless Zone Zero, it's not like Honkai Star Rail. This is a game that I guess the closest equivalent would be an old JRPG. So for those of you that are familiar with the old Final Fantasy games, with the old Tales of games like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, or like any of the Final Fantasy games, Breath of Fire, there are zones, and I guess for newer gamers, it could even be compared to something like Expedition 33. So essentially there exists a world, and while you can navigate from town to town, larger city to city, and there are numerous different zones set between each town and each city, those zones are relatively linear, so they are a straight path, and after progressing a certain distance, they diverge into other paths. So there are multiple different routes you can take. There is the main story route, then there are over to the sides, boss fights, treasure chests. There's a lot to explore, there's a lot to do, a lot to see. There are plenty of herbs and materials and minerals to gather because you need to use them to actually craft things and to level your characters. And it is, for all intents and purposes, your typical gacha game. There's a leveling system. There's the character acquisition, and the characters look so freaking good. There are dungeons present, there are boss fights present, these consume stamina. This is where you grind, or where you will be spending a lot of your time grinding. But outside of that, there is so much in the world, and it feels so lived in. It feels like it doesn't feel empty, if you know what I mean. Open world gacha games have a tendency to, at times, feel empty, void of content, but this game right here, from the very get-go, felt packed with content, and it is packed with story. The narrative for this game is probably one of the best in gacha right now. Like, I know Netmarble is the studio behind it. Some of you aren't fond of Netmarble, perfectly fine, totally understand, but the actual dev team that worked on this, they fucking killed it, dude. This is insane. This was, I don't think you could compare this narrative to a gacha game. It felt comical, very fun, very lighthearted. The fluidity in character movements, the fluidity in terms of just animation quality, in expressions, I don't think there's, I mean, people say that Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves are essentially the most fluid, most expressive gacha games out there. And for the most part, I do genuinely agree. But you guys have not seen this game. This game cranks it up to 11. This game feels like an old school JRPG. It's fully voice acted. There are a lot of anime character tropes. The narrative style is just so fun, and it's just like, the game is filled with cutscenes. It's not just sedentary, stationary characters that don't move. They just kind of stand there and like talk at you. No, the characters are always doing things, always engaging, always interacting. And because the narrative is such a central focus of the game, the characters actually exist within the game. They interact with one another. There is a sense of camaraderie. The cast of characters are actually a cast of characters. The characters you meet in the first second of the game are the characters that are there 20 hours into the game. The different characters you meet along the way are there along the way. They are a core cast of characters that are typically present in JRPGs. This game, while it is technically in theory a gacha game, this does not feel like one. There are aspects of it that do, but then overall, the overarching game itself does not feel like a gacha game. This is a game that I would play. When this releases, as long as the business model, the monetization isn't egregiously bad and horribly predatory, this is a game I will be playing. This is a game I will stream. This is a game I will download both on my computer and my phone because of how high quality it is. And the combat, man, it takes inspiration from both Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves and kind of like merges them together into something relatively unique but also familiar, because I don't think it's necessarily as fast-paced or action-packed as WoA, but at the same time, like, it definitely feels like it. There is a lot of diversity in terms of the characters themselves, their each unique abilities, how their elements react, and the boss mechanics. I mean, typically in action gacha games, there isn't really much to it. Bosses are just punching bags. But in this, there is so much. And the difficulty of the encounters actually scale the mechanics present. What this means is that the more difficult the boss encounter, the more the boss does. It's not just a boss, the same fight, but with bloated HP. No, what this is a boss fight that does more. So you need to be more actively aware of what is going on. Otherwise, you're gonna get your ass fucked. This just, seriously, this game is just, it was a breath of fresh air. That's how I feel. At the end of the day, this game just takes so many different boxes. I don't really want to delve too deeply into this because the beta is happening, I think, on the 20th. I don't know when this video specifically is going live, but the beta is happening. It's right around the corner. I want you guys to experience it yourself. I don't want to spoil too much, but this game right here, this game might just be a contender for one of the better games released in 2025. Unsponsored opinion, this has been a ton of fun. I can't wait to see what the devs do with it and what they can achieve with it, because I love JRPGs and this feels like a JRPG experience, just potentially with a gacha in the form of unit acquisition. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.